This is a card trick we call Break the Ice, and we show this card trick when we meet somebody, whether we're in an airport or on an airplane or a restaurant or somewhere, and we're trying to look for an opportunity to witness. We usually pull out a deck of cards and just start making some noise with the card and try to get a conversation going and show the Break the Ice card trick first before we go to our Gospel card trick. And this is basically the trick. I'm going to show you the trick starting out what we do. We have the person take any card, out of the deck. Let's just pull a card out. This is the Ace of Spades, okay? And we shuffle the deck. Shuffle it real good. You can shuffle it many times you want, doesn't matter. And then we make 2 rows of 4 or 8 cards. And then we have somebody pick out 4 cards. We have them point at 4 cards and we pull them off the table. Like they go 1, 2, 3, 4. We pull them off the table. And then we have 4 cards left. We say, okay, pick out 2 cards. They pick out 2 cards and pull them off the table. And you got 2 cards left now. And we say, pick out 1 card. And then pick out a card, and the card you have left just happens to be the card they picked out to begin with. Okay, we call that the Break the Ice card trick. It's pretty easy to learn. To learn this card trick, you need to learn how to do our 3rd day card trick, which is on our YouTube channel. And we use the same methodologies as that card trick, except we add one more step. Okay, so like recently I was on an airplane. And flying back from the USA, and I was shuffling the cards, making some noise in my chair, and the guy next to me kind of like looks at me, and I'm like, I'm exercising my fingers, He said, oh, okay, no problem, And I said, would you like to see a card trick? And he said, sure, he wants to see a card trick. So I showed him the cards. He picked out a card, whatever, picked out, we'll just say he picked out the Queen of Clubs, okay? And then we shuffled the deck really good. I'm going kind of fast, so. And then we placed out 8 cards. Okay. And then we had him pick 4 cards. He went 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he picked out 2. Then he picked out 1. And the last card remaining was a card that he started out with. It was the Queen of Clubs. And what we do in this card trick, see this diagram right here? What we do in this card trick is we put this Queen of Clubs, or the card they pick out, always in the corner. It's a mechanical shuffle that I'm doing, and when I get done shuffling, the right card, the card he picked, is always at the top of the deck. It's always going to be there. So we put that card right there, always. And then if they pick out, and you put out 8 cards, if they pick out 4, they go like 1, 2, 3, 4. You pull these off the table. Okay. If they pick out these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you still pull these 4 off the table. Whichever combination has that card in it is a combination that you keep on the table. If they pick out, let's say, these 2 and these 2, you pull these off the table. If they pick out these 2 and these 2, you still pull these 2 off the table. Well, let's say that you've got all these right here off the table. You've got 4 cards remaining. If they pick out these 2, you pull these off the table. If they picked out these 2, you still pull these 2 off the table. They don't understand the mechanics of the trick. And then you have like 2 cards remaining, like these 2 are remaining right here, just these 2. If they pick out this card, you pull it off the table. The remaining card's going to be that right there. If they pick that card, you still pull this one off the table. The remaining card is still going to be that right there, always. The mechanics of how to do the trick shuffle that leaves the card at the top, it doesn't matter how you shuffle the deck, it always comes out at the top. If you shuffle like you start cutting in half and things like that, it's still going to be at the top. If you cut it sideways, it doesn't matter, it's still going to be at the top. We teach you how to do this shuffle on our video called The 3rd Day. It's real easy to learn. If you can learn how to do the 3rd day card trick, then you just add in this right here and you're good. The Apostle Paul said, being crafty, I caught you with guile. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult it's a little bit difficult to get a conversation going. And when you're like in a restaurant or an airport or on an airplane or wherever, I've showed these card tricks in malls. I've shown them in malls and wherever. And you just start showing some card tricks, make a little noise, and people will just come to you. They want to see the card trick. Even on airplanes, I've done these tricks 39,000, 40,000 feet in the sky. And just make a little noise. You know, people hear these cards shuffling. Make a little noise, and then somebody around you, they look at you and say, would you like to see a card trick? And usually they say yes, they want to see a card trick. And sometimes they even want to show you something, you know. Well, you show the break the ice card trick first. You show that card trick first. And after you show that card trick, they'll be open to hear another card trick. And that's when you bring in the Death, Burial, and Resurrection on the third day card trick, which is a really good card trick. You put the gospel in there over and over and over again. And then after you present the trick, you can say, well, would you like to learn the trick? And they usually say yes. So then you're giving them hands-on lessons on how to do that card trick. And you repeat the gospel, and everything that you said in that presentation, you repeat it to them so they can understand it over and over again. And when you get done, you have sowed the seed. You have sowed the seed. And you know, a lot of times people are hearing the gospel for the first time. Well, most people out there don't even know they're lost, you know. And so it's a good opportunity to plow. It's a good opportunity to just drop some seed in there. The Bible says one man watereth, one man soweth, another man watereth, and God giveth the increase. That's what it says. And God will use that witness. If you can just break the ice and just get the death, burial, resurrection in there, you have accomplished something. You have accomplished something. So appreciate you taking time to watch this card trick. Hope that maybe you can put this in your tackle box and use it out there one day to get a good witness in.